This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐻𝐻. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Aswin, can you begin by introducing yourself to me?
Sir, I'm Aswin. I'm from Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu. I've done both my schooling and undergraduation from Chennai. I've graduated from BBA LLB Honors from Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University in 2021. Since then, I've been preparing for the civil service examination.
So, Aswin, I can see that you are a lawyer. Tell me, what is a good law according to you? What test should a law pass to become a good law according to you?
Yes, sir. Sir, a good law, there are certain steps which we can make it as a better law. One thing is it should be easily understandable by the people. It should not be a complicated one. And the second step is a good law should try to bring equality within people and minimize inequality. It should be inclusive in nature. And the third important point is it should be socially acceptable as much as possible. It shouldn't be something very new or it shouldn't be very foreign. It should be based on the grassroots level on people welfare.
So you said that it should be simple to understand, right? That is one criteria. Understood by the common people. It should be simple to understand. What other criteria did you give apart from it?
Sir, other criteria is like it should be accepted by the people.
So your acceptability of the people is also very important. So how can we ensure acceptability or how can we ensure legitimacy or acceptability of this law?
Sir, we can ensure it by like there could be certain customs followed in the society, and certain customs are now it's not totally acceptable in the modern society, and the law could bring a balance. Like for example, uniform civil code is there, so it is totally considered as radical by certain set of people, but certain set of people consider it is needed. So there could be some balance, and such law could be brought in the future. Sir.
So you said that, according to you, right, that it should follow the customs and rituals. But then by that count, the state will never be able to frame a progressive law, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indeed, sir. That's one thing which I'm telling is like we can't completely follow the customs and because the society is being modern and there are certain new norms we are following. So what I'm coming to say is like it's totally a foreign substance cannot be implemented in the state, sir. That's how in the society, sir. That's the thing I was coming to say, sir. Like completely it shouldn't be a foreign, sir. It should be progressively made.
No, Ashwin. So legitimacy of the law. Okay, customs and rituals are there, but if you have to make something new, which is not as per our customs and rituals, then how do we ensure the legitimacy? I'll give you a hint. We already have a system in place like that, where we believe that the law is legitimate and people accept it. What is that principle by which law becomes legitimate?
Sir, beg your pardon, sir. Like I cannot understand the exact subject, sir. Like
Okay.
already have a system. Can you repeat the question once again, sir?
To ensure acceptability and legitimacy of a law. You said one is that law, if it is made, it should follow the rituals. What if it does not follow rituals? Then how do we ensure legitimacy of the law? What principle is important to follow?
So there is a separate provision in our legislation, like public hearing is there, sir. Like people could.
In legislation itself, Ashwin, you can simply say, sir, the legitimacy is ensured in a democracy because by what? By the principle of representation. By the principle of representation, those who are going to be affected by law must be represented in the lawmaking process. That itself makes it legitimate, isn't it?
Sir.
Did you say this in the first time? Did you state it as a criteria of a good law?
No, sir. I didn't explicitly mention that representation. Sir.
Okay. Ashwin, in our constitution, is the constitution source of rights or is the constitution a result of rights?
Sir, in our constitution, it acts like a source of rights, sir. In most of the cases, it acts as like a source of rights.
In the constitution acts as a source of rights, but I think that will be a little troublesome, because what if the constitution is not there? Then do we not have rights?
Sir, we have certain natural rights, sir. Like being born as a human, we have certain natural rights, human rights, sir. But the basic political and social rights, what we are enjoying right now, we have got it from the constitution, sir.
No, Ashwin, it is. Don't you think as a citizen you should be very afraid if somebody tells that you have the constitution, therefore you have rights? Otherwise, if our parliamentarians think that we should have no rights, and if they are taken away from the constitution, then there are no rights. Don't you think that is a very precarious situation?
Sir, in order to ensure the rights, sir, there should be an authority to sanction it, sir. Constitution acts like it's like a sanctioning body, sir. Like without it, even if we say like there are some rights, there won't be any mechanism to enforce certain rights, sir. That's why Constitution stays as a guardian to ensure the rights, sir. So it's more than a positive aspect than a negative aspect, sir.
What has been held in the M. Nagaraj case? What did the Supreme Court say with respect to the relationship between rights and constitution?
Sorry, sir. Like I'm not aware of the ruling, sir. Sorry.
You are from Kanchipuram. What is Kanchipuram famous for?
Sir, Kanchipuram is famous for its silk, which is GI tagged, and it's also known as land of temples. Sir. There are several era temples located in Kanchipuram.
Ashwin, we are continuously reading about the rich people migrating from our country, from India. What is the reason that suddenly we are seeing the rich outward migration from our country?
Sir, I cannot come up with the exact answer, sir, because I don't know the exact reason, sir. May I allow to guess the answer?
Okay, so from whatever is, don't guess, but from whatever is your understanding, what can you tell me?
Sir, from my understanding, people with more per capita income, they could have wanted a more a luxurious state of life where they could be, or they could even move for a more luxurious way of life than India, sir. Other countries might provide this, so it could be one reason. And there are also certain issues in our country, like social issues, like safety issues. This could also be one reason for people moving out of the country, especially from the creamy layer of the society, sir.
Ashwin, what do you think are the top 3 challenges before your state today?
Yes, sir. Sir, the first challenge which is of very importance is the issue due to the caste issues. And there are several issues, several tussles which erupt in the corner of the states, which were based on the caste, sir. And still the society has been segregated on based on caste. And the second issue is the issue of disaster management. Tamil Nadu has been a victim of continuous disasters like drought, especially cyclones and floods. There has been a lacuna in that area. Third is infrastructure connectivity, sir. Though Tamil Nadu is one of the most urban states, still connectivity between districts, district headquarters, and the marginalized areas is pretty low, sir. So these are the 3 issues which I can point, sir.
All right. You have also volunteered for animal rescue and rehabilitation. Recently in our country, we have a case where cow vigilantes have killed someone, accusing them of, where has this happened?
Sir, it has happened in the state of Haryana, sir.
So what is your opinion on it? While we have to protect, for a large number of people of India, the cow is a sacred animal. What is your opinion on cow vigilantism?
Sir, cow has been a sacred animal throughout the ages in India, sir. But the issue is more emotionally connected. But people should not take the law on their hands, even it's for protection of animals or protection of their own beloved persons or fellow human beings. Taking law on hands and involving in accidents in incidents like mob lynching is definitely not advisable, sir. So strict action should be taken to curb this issue. because this issue could have more trickling effect and a more cascading effect on communal issues all over India.
Ashwin, you exercise Silambam. Am I
Yes.
reading it correctly? Martial art.
Yes.
What are some? How did you get into this practice?
Sir, during my secondary education period, I got in touch with Kung Fu, sir. The sensei which taught me Kung Fu was also a practitioner of Silambam. We have to exercise Silambam for passing certain belts. So I was interested. I was introduced to Silambam during that period, sir.
What are some qualities you think you have imbibed because of practicing this martial art?
Yes, sir. Sir, physically we could get a body to mind connect by practicing
Practicing
Silambam.
this martial art. Good qualities.
Sir, physical okay, qualities what I heard. Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Qualities which I learned was like concentration and teamwork. Because while practicing Silambam with the fellow teammates, we have to do it in a coordination. And third quality which I would say is like courage, sir. So these are three qualities which I learned by practicing this martial art, sir.
Ashwin, last question for you. What qualities do you think you have that will make you a good civil servant according to you?
Sir, listening, leadership, perseverance, and courage, integrity. These are 5 qualities which I think which makes me as a capable person to join civil services, sir.
What does integrity mean to you?
So for me, integrity is like following certain set of principles and certain set of good values, even at the times of crisis or pressure, sir, and not changing our stand during that period, sir.
All right, Ashwin, your interview is over.